Why I stopped dropshipping and built a real e-commerce brand. I don't have anything against dropshipping. That's exactly how I started. Am I saying that you should not dropship? I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to explain to you is my story. Okay, I've done seven figures with dropshipping, but now I've converted over to doing real e-commerce and what I call a real e-commerce brand where I have more control. I have more control over things like my product quality. I have more control over things like my fulfillment. I have more things over the logistics. Okay. So the things that a lot of people give up in drop shipping can become the downfall to why 99% of drop shipping stores will fail. Drop shipping is not dead and it definitely works. But if you continue to chase trends, because you'll see that, oh, this product is really booming. You found it on a product research tool. You saw it, somebody running ads for it. You just understand that this product is doing really well. Or you see it's a product that's done well in the past and it's something that you feel like you can actually find a different angle for and start to scale it. See, the problem is that a lot of drop shippers only focus on, hey, I can scale this product. I can scale it, I can spend money on it and ramp it up and do crazy numbers. Guys, I've done seven figures in drop shipping and then still felt broke at the end of the day. See, I'm going to explain why so that way you guys don't go through the same issues. Okay? First off, I want you to understand that, yes, when you first start drop shipping, you feel this euphoric thing like I've made my first sale online, which is great. But most people, when you make your first sale online, you don't think about the back end aspect, which is making sure that your customer is satisfied. And there's a lot to go into fulfillment. Marketing is amazing. And I love drop shipping because it's going to give you the ability to really fast track your learning with actually scaling and using paid ads to acquire customers profitably, which is amazing. But another aspect of business that allows business to last is the aspect of having good fulfillment, good back end logistics, actual having good supplier relations to make sure that your product quality is top tier, right? And the thing about dropshipping is that sometimes you're not able to control a lot of these things, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So keep listening. I'm going to give you everything that you guys need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen. All right. Because one month I was making $50,000, but then the next month you may be wondering, like, why am I struggling to pay my bills? Right. And if you've ever drop shipped and drop shipped to any capacity at a successful level, you'll understand what I'm saying. So these are the problems that you usually run into. You usually have a very high peak of you scaling out and killing it with the product. And maybe everything is going good with fulfillment and everything. You're using one of these drop shipping suppliers and everything's going amazing, right? You may even have like a shipping agent. But the thing is that out of nowhere, everything's going so good with your product, and then out of nowhere, your product is not getting sales and converting anymore. See, the reason why this usually happens is because people focus only on trends, and that trend, if you just stay the same, just selling that same product, it will die. Most drop shipping stores have, like, let's say about a 2-year run rate, right? Let's say even less than that, maybe even 6 months to a year. But depending on your skill level, it may last up to 2 years. And so the thing is that you're not looking at how you need to pivot and focus on changing this brand, but you're just thinking that the money is just going to keep coming with you doing the same exact thing, which is not really going to work because other people can do the exact same thing you're doing. See, drop shipping doesn't allow people to understand how can you create a moat, okay? If you're just doing something that someone can just sell the exact same product as you, there's nothing different. Your product, you're just going to become a commodity to where there's nothing special There's nothing different. There's nothing that they're getting at all. You're just getting it shipped from China, right? Slow shipping times. So customers are complaining like, hey, it's not coming fast enough. So some of you may be shipping from AliExpress. You may be using one of these shipping agents, whatever the case may be. But your shipping agent may not be able to keep up with your demand. So they're trying to figure out how to get more units in, but you're still placing the same amount of orders with them, or increasing it. And that becomes a problem. Most drop shipping stores, you don't have any real customer loyalty. So people don't want to come back, or they just look at it, they just only want that trending product or whatever it is that's kind of like popular, but they never ever intend to come back to your store. They don't have a reason to. And so a lot of people, when they're doing drop shipping, they don't think about how can I make sure that people are going to come back to my website? How am I going to be able to email them to get them to come back? Like, is it going to be this same product that people will come back and buy? Is it going to be another adjacent product that also is goes along with this product? Like, something about the product should be in the back of your mind about what people can come back and buy, or buy as an upsell directly after they purchase the first initial product. And then also, like, a lot of people only focus on ad spend. They don't have any organic traffic. Okay. These are some of the problems that I ran into. Before I go in deeper, I'm going to show you guys some clips of me actually doing, at my facility, at my warehouse, show you guys some of the sales that we're doing right now. So that way you guys can see a little bit of how I was able to kind of fix these problems. We have orders right here that's about to go out. And so that's pretty much like a quick little walkthrough. I can't show too much. And team is working real hard to get everything out. Manufacturing here. I'll show a little bit more. This is just like a little quick glimpse of what's going on. And yeah, just come in here to my office and get back to work. It's 143,000 here. We come here. See, we did 91,000 here. And we still have Amazon as well. We still have retail stores. So now that we've showed you a little clip of what we've been able to do, I want to call out all the gurus. Okay. A lot of people show you these crazy screenshots and revenues, but they don't show you the big dips that happen, right? And how quickly those stores die. All right. I want you to understand that a lot of people talk about drop shipping because it's very popular, and a lot of people want to start off in the drop shipping space because it's easier than starting a real e-commerce brand, which is completely fine, right? There's a lot of search volume of people searching up how to start drop shipping stores. So people always understand that the algorithms are promoting this type of content, and you can sell a lot of courses, and you can sell a lot of affiliate marketing products, or whatever the case may be. You can sell tools that you can be an affiliate marketer for, which is completely fine. But what you have to understand is that we have to teach people that you have to figure out how to get some control in your business. All right. This is something that I feel like God was kind of putting on my heart. And that's why I stepped away from doing YouTube. It's because I felt like I need to go out and figure out how to keep a business lasting. Because when you start a drop shipping store, you have to understand that you need to convert from just selling a product to having loyal fans, to having fast predictability in your business of how fast the product is going to get to your customers. The quality is going to be consistent. These things really help a lot. What are multiple different things that people can buy, right? So other products that solve the initial problem, or other problems that customer may have. These things are really going to help you down the line. And figuring out how to get that control is going to allow people to recommend your brand to others. It's going to allow you to go omni-channel into other platforms, right? So I'm going to show you guys a quick screenshots of some numbers. If you look at the top store, this is an e-commerce brand. These are the numbers from an e-commerce brand. So just right off the bat, you can see that there's way more revenue in the e-commerce brand versus the drop shipping store. Okay. So e-commerce brands are going to make you more money over time. With drop shipping stores, you probably right out the gate can make way more money than an e-commerce brand. And drop shipping stores can be transitioned into e-commerce brands. It's possible, okay? Don't get me twisted. But what I want to show you guys is that, yes, e-commerce brands are going to make way more money overall, okay? And yes, you can have a drop shipping store that gives a branded feel. But I truly believe a real e-commerce brand is going to be one that is going to have a high repeat customer rate. So if you see, we have a 32% repeat customer rate versus an only 6% repeat customer rate. When you have a product that everyone else has, there's nothing really custom about it. You're not going to really see a high amount of people wanting to come back and get it from you, because there's nothing that's differentiating you from the marketplace. And not only that, the speed of when they're getting those products may be not fast enough. And you may not have a good catalog of products of what people can buy. And sometimes there's all types of shady things that you can do to sell different type of trending drop shipping products. And because they may not be truly allowed on certain marketplaces. And so you have to find all these back doors to be able to sell them. It's because of the type of product it is. And so these are some of the things that you need to think about when it comes to an e-commerce brand versus dropshipping store. I'll give you an example. When I was doing a lot of the products that was back in 2020, those type of products were toward helping a lot of people in the health space, right? Those products I could have made way more money with those products, but the problem is that I wasn't figuring out how to turn it into a brand. I just kept relying on to the suppliers, and I had enough money at a point, like I could have been manufacturing some of those products myself. But instead, I kept trying to force the suppliers in China to ship out the products and drop shipping it, and the supply was too little. If I would have bought those machineries, I would have been able to get wholesale contracts. I would have been able to get bigger deals with other brands, and they would have been able to actually purchase those products from me. I could have done private label, white label, all these different, because now I'm in control of the manufacturing process. So I'm just trying to put some ideas in you guys' head to give you a little bit more context. Like, these are the things that are possible and then not only that, I would have been the one that's shipping out the fastest because I control my own supply. So I would have had a higher return customer rate. And these are the things that you need to think about, is that drop shipping is fine, but it's not the end game. The end game should always be an e-commerce brand. There's tons of stores that started off drop shipping, but they turned into a brand. And you have to understand the timing. You can validate products through drop shipping, but you have to take more risk as you start to scale. So I understood with drop shipping, it was always a dead end. If you never think about transitioning, you're going to keep on failing and your stores are going to continue to keep dying. All right. Every few months, you're going to start up a new store. That's why you see so many drop shippers. They have one general store and then they're always changing the store into different types of a different type of branded feel and always selling something different. Or they're always starting up a brand new store. No store ever lasts. And for the most part, like 99% of dropshipping stores never exit. That's why you don't see a lot of people in the dropshipping space talking about selling their e-commerce stores, because it's really not possible. Trust me, I've wasted a lot of time trying to sell a lot of dropshipping stores. But when you have an e-commerce brand, people offer to buy your brand, right? You don't even need to. And most of the time when you have a dropshipping store, you don't want to sell it when it's doing good. You're trying to sell it when it's doing bad. Nobody wants to buy a failing business. right? So I was just tired of playing this game. I was just starting, feeling all excited, then all these problems, chargebacks, even going into a negative because of a store, and then having to figure out what's next. So what I just changed is I focused on one long-term niche, right? I focused on what is a niche that I can focus on and solve these customers' problems instead of focusing on trends, right? You can start off a store based off of a trend, but that trend is only going to last for so long. So you have to think about you have to think is the overall niche long term. And once you understand the overall niche, you can always figure out different ways to pivot on that specific product or other products that can be sold to solve that problem or to be able to help customers in that niche. And then I understand that I need to control fulfillment. Once you drop ship a product, okay, you have to understand that if it's selling so well, start ordering in bulk while you're drop shipping to have some in your house, to have some at a third party fulfillment center. You have to take more risk and start ordering that product in bulk because now you'll be able to have a competitive advantage and ship it out faster to your customers and start to put it on other omni-channel platforms. So that's like Amazon, TikTok Shop, Walmart.com, retail. So you'll be able to have way more opportunities that are opening up to you because you're taking more control of fulfillment. Okay, so because the shipping times aren't going to be long, and these platforms that you can do omni-channel on aren't going to want any long shipping times to their customers. They're going to delete your account, ban you if products aren't getting to their customers fast enough. And then also you want to focus on building a real brand identity, right? With the mission. So you want people to know that there's a mission and also a story behind why you started this brand. What is the purpose of it, right? Our purpose is to help people go from drop shipping to actually building real e-commerce brands. And the story for me is, hey, I went and did all the drop shipping and I saw all the headaches and the problems and how unrealistic it was to grow it over time and stay in that same type of fulfillment method. And I realized that a real e-commerce brand is going to figure out how to take more control and figure out how to focus on a long-term niche rather than just starting and stopping. Okay, then I realized I need to go from selling products that people only buy one time to recurring revenue. So that's subscriptions or repeat buyers. So this is something that you see a lot of the big dogs that are talking about 8 and 9 figures because there's no business without repeat customers. Okay. If you think about any business that's huge, they have people coming back and buying over and over and over. Okay. So you have to understand that even if the product is something that they only really do need to buy one time, like people buy, I'm only going to buy one fridge in this house, one like main fridge. But this fridge has an air filter and a water filter in my kitchen. So even if the product is something that someone only buys once, that air filter and water filter need to get changed every 6 to 12 months, depending on how much you're using the fridge, right? So at the end of the day, they figured out that what we can now sell to people is, hey, if you don't change this filter, if you don't change this water filter, you're going to be drinking contaminated water. If you don't change this air filter, your products and your food and all that stuff in your fridge isn't going to be circulating in clean air. So they're selling a subscription based off of us having the fear of not getting fresh water and fresh food with the fridge that we already bought from them once. And we're not going to most likely buy another for a long time. But those filters keep them having a good subscription revenue coming in. And that filter is only custom to their product. Or there could be a product that someone is consuming all the time. For example, supplements. For example, things that also people are going to use topically, right? This is now skincare. See, these are just examples. Toilet paper. These are things that people repeat buy or put on subscription basis. And there's so many different ideas that you guys can probably think of. Dog food. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. And the good thing about switching over to a real e-commerce brand is you can use a lot more organic marketing, right? And you can have a lot more affiliates. See, the reason why organic marketing and affiliates works is because you're going to know that people aren't going to be coming under your post saying, hey, this took 21 days to get to my house, or 18 days or 7 days, right? I know people say, oh, no, drop shipping, you can get it within 8 days. I mean, people are used to getting things within 2, 3, 4 days. So that is the competitive advantage of having more control. And some people may think, oh, those couple days really don't matter. It may not for your product. That's true. But you may have a competitor that still just takes it to that extra edge, and that does make the difference of why someone would choose them over you. And affiliates aren't going to want to promote your product and partners and retail stores if you're not shipping fast. If your product quality isn't controlled and consistent, they're not going to want that. So you have to dial in to make sure you have a good relationship with your supplier. That's another thing that I focused on, is knowing that you need to be connected with your supplier. If you're making so much money off of a product, why aren't you visiting that supplier, right? Why aren't you put in a big bulk order so that way they can have enough money to manufacture the product for you, so it's being shipped out very fast for you? Drop shipping is fast money, usually no long-term customers, and unreliable supply chain. A real e-commerce brand is predictable income, strong customer base, long-term success. Okay, the key benefits of a real brand: you're going to have higher profit margins because you don't have any middleman. So usually when you're drop shipping, you're buying it off of AliExpress. That's going to have a middleman. Also, the people who are, if you're using a shipping agent, they can still add something on top of your product. Okay, like you really don't know. When you're dealing direct with the supplier and just buying in bulk, you're going to be able to handle and know all the different costs. Like you'll be able to know more, that all the costs aren't coming from any middleman. That's just the truth. Okay, even if you now are shipping it from China, you can buy in bulk, send it to a shipping agent, or make sure that a shipping agent is in control of making sure your products are getting shipped out fast. So, and just make sure that you know all the costs and they're being transparent and you have a good relationship with them. Also, another benefit is that customers buy from you. They're not just buying a random product. So they're buying into your mission, they're buying into your story, they're buying into your reliability of the quality of the shipping, everything that comes with your brand. So that makes people loyal. So this is brand loyalty. People just keep coming back. Even they refer you to their family, their friends. And then this is actually going to be a business that you can sell. Brands have exit value. Drop shipping stores don't. Okay, that's just the truth. They just don't have that much value. But the thing is, don't get it twisted. You can make money like that. You always want to focus on transitioning, though. That's what I'm just trying to explain. All right, what you should do instead, if I were someone today, I would find a product category that I believe in. Okay, I wouldn't just sell stuff I don't really believe in. I want to believe in it. But not only do I need to believe in it, you need to validate it, okay? You need to make sure that people want the product. How do you know if somebody wants a product? You check Google Trends. You make sure, hey, are people searching up this product? How's the trend looking? You can check other sellers. You can be able to use different tools. I know they have stuff like Shop Hunter, different tools where you can check Shopify store sales. You can check on platforms, marketplaces like Amazon, Walmart, wherever. It'll usually show you how many people have bought. You can be able to see reviews. You'll know if a product is selling, right? Or if a product category is selling. And you'll be able to get an understanding if it's something that people will buy. But not only that, you should also test fulfillment options, okay? So if I was going to start, I would do home-based, because then I would know I was just having an advantage. And then I would order in very small quantities, so like 50 to 100 units. And then I would use a USA supplier, or I would just ship it to a third-party fulfillment center, or I'll just order it in bulk and make sure a shipping agent in China is going to be able to have that product shipped as fast as possible to my customers. But for me, I wouldn't want my product coming from China. That's just my personal opinion. Then I would invest in branding or storytelling. So I would make sure that my products look good, the brand, the packaging, things are going to speak to the customer, tell a story, or just be able to stand out from the competitors. Also, I would make sure that, they understand why we're doing what we do. They should understand that we take pride in what we do. We leverage things like TikTok Shop for organic traffic, right? So we'll list on TikTok Shop because TikTok Shop is amazing for organic traffic. We're killing it on TikTok Shop right now, as you guys saw earlier in this video. So TikTok Shop is dope. I like TikTok Shop. And then the thing about TikTok Shop is you have affiliates. So affiliates is amazing as well. Then I'll use Google Ads for steady intent buyers that are ready to buy. And that's it, guys. If you want to learn how to build a real brand that actually makes money, make sure you click the subscribe button. Follow me for more. Ask any questions in the comments section that you may have. Talk about your experience with dropshipping, or talk about, how your experience with building a real e-commerce brand is going.